Hey, thank you so much for agreeing to talk to me. Thank you. Uh, I think I have a lot of questions to ask, but I want to get the ground set by what you're currently doing right now
Is a profession?
as a profession.
Okay. I'm into the cloud era. I'm a senior engineering manager over there. My portfolio includes public cloud and part of private cloud. And we are into the data engineering platform as a service offering
Okay,
on both public cloud and private cloud.
right. Can you just elaborate on why AI has had such a big impact on other industries, but the cloud space, I don't see a lot of talk between AI into cloud, or am I wrong?
There is, when you say, can you be specific? When you say no impact on cloud, what do you mean by that?
A lot of the cloud infrastructure as well as cloud tools, right, don't seem to use AI that much. Uh, Directly impact like generative AI, those kind of different aspects that other industries have
Are
faced.
you referring to, for example, the infrastructure that we consume?
Yes.
Oh, okay. There are AI tools internal to the cloud team, may not be exposed to us directly for consumption.
Okay.
There are offering which enable us to use AI, but not as a product. For example, if I'm deploying certain EC2 instances or some more services from AWS, there could be an internal tool by the AWS to automate a lot of things and monitor the matrices and all.
Okay.
But it may not be visible to us for our normal deployment because it is mostly user driven.
Do you think it should stay that way?
Not sure. With the evolution of agent, things might change in a long way. But at this point of time, at least we are not seeing that happen.
Correct. All right. What's your view on agents though? Like you mentioned agents, right? And everybody's talking about agents. What's your view on what an agent should do?
Agents should be doing our assigned task more meaningfully and without hallucination, without giving us a wrong result. But this is an ideal expectation that doesn't happen because we have to understand inherently we are using probabilistic model to enable our agent. Um, when you say what it should do, this goal, you have to be specific about the goals. When we develop an agent, we have to assign a goal. We have to assign a role. As a role, what is expected, what goal we want to achieve. If it is well defined, we are still getting a good amount of result today.
Okay. Do you feel like the agents at this point of time, would you define what they're doing as thinking?
Okay, agents are not thinking on their own. They are relying on large language models, particularly for reasoning, particularly. Say, for example, you have given a task, breaking down that task into a smaller task, achieving in an atomic way, that matters, and that reasoning comes from the large language model.
Should it come to a point where they think?
Agent thinking,
Yeah.
agent thinking is delegated to the large language model. So, if at all you are talking about they should think,
They should think on their own without relying on the large language.
then in that case they have to incorporate that model within themselves.
You think that's possible? Because
Why not? So we are talking about the small language model.
Yeah.
So if you have a purpose built specific for a particular need, your agent is particularly say, okay, putting it in this perspective, you have a financial domain agent which understand all the trading and all those. So you have built up a model which is qualified enough and decent enough to take a decision in that side. Instead of housing somewhere in a cloud, you can incorporate that model into your agent. But remember, if you incorporate that model into your agent will be restricted. I mean, only one agent can consume it. Now, we are talking about reusability in a software term.
Right.
If you keep that agent outside, keep the model outside the agent, in that case, you have many more agents relying on that and achieving your task. If you internalize it, your agent become monolith. How would you extend it? Or you have a one single point of failure in the agent. If agent goes wrong, this goes wrong. Generally, that is why brain is kept outside so that other can leverage it.
All right. So once you said that it will become very, very closed off and monolith, right? Let's say we come to a point when agents start reasoning or thinking on their own while the LLM.
So okay, putting into perspective again, if you look at all the robots and all,
Right.
what are they doing? They are also agent. Robots are also, they have their own brain. For example, how to say,
assembly robot maybe.
assembly robot. There is a mountaineer. The dogs are going in the border area, Indian
Right.
border area. There is an Indian company which has developed it. I think what's that? Some frog. I'm forgetting the name. So they are enabling them to think on the terrain. It's a rocky terrain, it's a flat terrain, how to lift the legs, how to climb up. These are all there enabled, built into it. That means a brain is built into it. So if some agents today are already performing brain within it, but is it required for our software, for example, software development agent or data analyst agent? Do we need to do that? If I have a model outside, I can enable other agent to communicate and get the job done within the same brain.
Okay.
Right? So that is the advantage we are going to get with the modularity. But if purely an isolation is required, then certainly it makes sense to internalize the model into the agent and get the job done.
That's very interesting actually, because a lot of people actually say that agents should at some point of time be able to think on their own.
They are thinking. That's what I'm saying. There is a agent we are trying to typically in AI stream. Agent something that's not new. It's been there from quite some time. With the computational enhancement, we get an advantage to leverage and commoditize it. So if you see that agent's definition theory, it says autonomous one. Give a task, it'll perform it, and your job will be done. So those agents are talked about autonomous, and they have a brain. So that talks about mostly robots. Say for example, you have a household robot. You tell it, go and brew me a coffee. Get me a cup of coffee. It will go. You know where the brewing machine is, which cup to pick up. All these are happening not based on the rules, because it also need to understand obstacle. If you have a pet at home, if you have a sofa or your furniture reshaped, then it should understand, okay, this is what the sofa is, this is what the dining table is. My master was sitting on the couch, now he is in the bin bag. So where it need to go. So that identification is all about the brain, right?
Right.
So those robots are built in brain, and that is nothing but the agent itself. Because you ask them to get you a cup of coffee, it knows how to brew it and where are you located, and then you give it to, without damaging anything or hurting any pets in between, and still deliver the coffee.
So takeaway is built-in brains will work as personal one-on-one assistant more or less. And if you want to scale it up, you need to have a brain outside.
Correct. And on specialization purpose you might think of. It's again a case by case basis, for which I may not have a visibility at this point of time, because that I'm not quite familiar with the demands or requirements, but there could be a fair possible. If a LLM is outside, get in inside and get your job is done.
Are you happy with where the industry is going in this regard?
It's not about my happiness. It is an inevitable thing.
Inevitable thing.
And as I told, and so in my talk, as I suggested, this is happening. You better embrace it. The more you resist, the more painful it will be. Journey will be. Okay. So better embrace it. Try to understand. Try to influence so that it doesn't abuse. The more you understand the system, the more you understand the work, how do they work, you will be more aware, and it can less hurt to the humanity.
Can you tell me 3 or 4 areas where businesses are going wrong in their implementation of AI, and practically mostly AI agents?
AI side, right? Not wrong per se. They are failing to achieve certain things. I wouldn't say wrong.
What are those?
Sorry?
What are those?
Well, okay, I'm going there. So generally what happens, say for example, medical companies, research companies, they have lot of research data and they have petabytes of data. But to train a model, you cannot feed in the entire data. You have to select it. You have to utilize the data that aptly defines your problem statement and solution. So then that's called the dataset preparation. Sanitize your dataset, prepare it so that it can consume it. If you feed in petabytes of data in a random order, your model might not get trained well. The best example is, there was a saying, OpenAI saying, there is a Sam was telling, you cannot scale the way we are scaling. And that got debunked by R1 developers, DeepSeek R1 developers. They use a smaller set of GPUs. They used some smaller set of data, but they train it well with the reasoning level, right? So if you have well-defined data, refined data, then you can feed in and train. That will be more meaningful than feeding everything into the data. So what happens? This data set creation. You would have heard about Scale AI.
Yeah.
They have, if I remember correctly, they have a very good. They also provide you data set to train your model. So that itself is a business, billion-dollar business. Preparing a data set so that you can train your model.
So, based on what you're saying, everything will come down to the sanity of the data that you are training your model.
As long as, yes, as long as your model training is concerned, as you asked me, where things are failing. So this is where things are failing. And currently compute cost is high. You need GPU, you need a lot of compute space so that you can train your model. If you're going to invest in that, that is why people are leveraging what already existing models like ChatGPT or Gemini, or because they have already invested a lot of money. Google has huge amount of data. They know more than you know yourself. Correct, right? So they can fit it better. Like Byte one, a TikTok parent company. They are able to model human very well. Why? Because they have lot of human dancing data, emotional data, speaking data.
Right.
They can model very well. So that is what they are leveraging it.
So, when you're talking about investments and leveraging and training models, right? Why do you want the next 2 or 3 years of heavy R&D to go into?
In India or worldwide?
Let's start with India, and then I want
India, I think we have to prepare and catch up quickly. Otherwise, we will be far behind.
Okay.
The way we in the defense sector, we are far behind compared to the other developed nation. At least current government is focusing on it and trying to catch up with that, and that's advantage we got in the Operation Sindoor also. In AI also, we have to do really well. We have good people, IITs, IISc, and lot of research areas are there. And inherently, Indians are inclined towards math also, if you look at it.
Correct.
Right? So we have that edge. We need to encash it. I think current government is doing something on those areas. I don't have the specifics, but they are at least putting the effort to make more empowered individuals to carry it forward, research and all.
Okay.
Indian mindset is more on the engineering side. I would rather prefer Indian students to focus more on the research side, writing papers, improvise a model, improvise your process. If you find on agentic there are 30,000 papers, and how many of those are from Indian origin? That we have to think about it. So we need to start get inclined on the research side, and that can only happen at the academic side.
Right. How can you promote more collaboration between industry, the business, as well as academics?
There are a lot of things happening, I believe. In IIT and all, there are there are companies who are funding certain project. IIT has something of that sort.
But it's limited to the IITs, right?
That again depends on your quality of institution. Say, for example, an institution is having very good faculty, then it makes sense. Under whose supervision kids will do? Young, because they are young. They don't know which direction to go. There is need a supervision. That supervision, generally this elite institute, they have it. So it's a time for all the engineering college founders or research or discovery founders to think how can they empower their college. It's not just pure money. I will teach you and you are at the engineering level, not in the research level, and I'm well done. That's a one aspect of life. But if you want to do something meaningful, then institutions, colleges and all, the founders of the college, the trust of the college, think about it. How can we enhance our kids? For example, PES, RV, and there is there are a few more colleges in Bangalore. So they encourage their kids to do something of this sort.
Awesome. So now that we are, we spoke about the world. Well, coming to you, what are the 5 AI tools that you cannot live without at this point of time?
What are the 5? For my presentation and all today, you saw my presentation. It was all from Gemini because that generates really good quality images. And sometime a write up and all, I rely on ChatGPT. Sometime I do some research. For example, research on agent and their evolution. How did they start journey and where are they today? So such research paper I'm relying on Gemini, ChatGPT. These two predominantly AI tools that I'm currently using for my all the activity. 5, I'm not using 5. No.
So if you were to give like one advice to the new up and coming engineers who are dealing with AI, what would that be?
I would say immediately change. For example, someone is just entering into the college and they have an interest on the on learning AI and all. I would say do not drop mathematics from your kitty.
Okay.
Try to engage more and more. Start modeling everything that they witness in the life into mathematics. Almost 7-8 years before, I told casually in one of the friend group, you can be model in mathematics, and that's true today.
Yeah.
Right. So it was a casual talk. but I found it to be true. So similarly, kids generally go away from maths, but they should not. If it is not if you're not able to grab it, spend some time, stick to it. It will get into your brain. Giving up is not a way. If you really want to do something on AI, and AI is inevitable, you can't avoid it. It will definitely interfere in your life. So better to embrace it and be part of it.
Awesome. I'm very interested to know what the equation means on your T-shirt. Could you maybe explain it, please?
I'll.
Yeah.
So this says, this is basically a hypothetical character.
Okay.
Because a human is not an ideal ever.
Yeah.
Ideal human is a different definition altogether. And this is an agent function of time and the change in time, and integration is happening from 0 to infinity. So agent is trying to be an ideal human. And again, this is being a hypothetical character. That is why it has an infinity. Otherwise, it would have been from this date to next year. So catching up is not fairly possible, because ideal human definitions are different for everybody. For example, for my mom, my dad is an ideal person. For me, my dad is a hero. But my dad may not be hero or ideal person for somebody else. So how do you define who is an ideal? So that's when the hypothetical character it is. And that's why catch up is from 0 to infinity.
Awesome. Fantastic. Thank you so much for agreeing to do this.
Thank you.
It was a pleasure.